situation is your spine, which is compressed, is no longer compressed. The spine opens up like this. So most people, when they lay down, are 1 inch to 2 inches taller, mostly about 1 inch taller automatically. What happens then is where we talked about all of the nerves going through the spinal cord and all the nodes that were near that are functioning. What happens once the person lays down, it opens up, and you're now, before the spine was, the bone of the spine was compressed, and it was protecting the delicate electrical transmitting nerve system in the body. You know, you probably know in your electronic compliances it says RFI shielding, or you know, if you look at some electronic things in your house, it'll have an FCC rating on it. That means that this computer puts out a limited amount of radiation, not enough to interfere with an airplane flying over, etc. Well, what happens is, when an airplane flies over and you're sleeping at night, the energy from the transponder, the DME, and the other equipment hits your spine from up above, or attack any kind of radiation. Cell phones, anything will hit your spine. So what happens is, when you first lay down and you start to open up like that, this hits your spine, and your spine pulls back. It'll automatically, even though you're laying down, it'll compress itself. So if you're laying down and this takes place, you get this falling sensation. You feel like you're falling. You ever start to fall asleep and all of a sudden you go, whoa! Okay, that's because your spine got hit with radiation and it compressed to block the radiation out, okay, on the central nervous system. So the first thing that we noticed when we developed this pyramid was that this acts as a shield, and people didn't get that falling sensation. It went away. Most everybody that ever used one. This is going back into the way back now, 30 years ago. And so Flanagan had built one out of cardboard originally and sold it, and he couldn't orgone plate it, and we looked at what he had done and what it was supposed to do, and decided that we needed the orgone plating in the higher energy. So we went ahead and started making them out of metal and putting different surface coatings on them, and they worked a lot better than the cardboard ones that he was making originally. Then we added a capstone to it. Okay, we added the capstone to the top of the pyramid, and what that does, we found, is it reflects the surface energy, the apex energy, which is the will, back down to the individual in the bottom. Well, later on, we began to take it to the next step, and this was added. This was a Pleiadian device. It was added to the pyramid like that. And so what it does is, if you look at the Earth, it's moving from the west to the east at 1,000 miles an hour. So it's 24 hours, one rotation. But we have all, like I showed you that chart with all the stars on it, you have Pleiadian energy coming in, magnetic currents from the Great Bear, all the different constellations that comes in at night and daytime too, and it comes in, and this thing, it hits this orb, and it creates a huge field like this around the orb. I think I might have a slide on it here. It goes like this. So when this field is moving at 1,000 miles an hour, it creates a huge amount of wake turbulence and energy fields around this pyramid with this on here, which then goes down into the bottom of this, into this megorb down here. Because if you look at the geometry of this pyramid here, these are two opposite, one here and then open on the bottom, and you look at the geometry, this becomes resonant with this thing. So this starts pumping in these stellar frequencies into here.